you've been very outward about your own personal experiences, as a paper boy when you were, I guess, 10, and then this experience in England. Hypothetically, perhaps, how much has that informed you and your passion for this subject and maybe a little shift in your own physiology?
Oh, I think without those, I wouldn't be here today, without having had those experiences. Because as I've often said, there's, there's the anecdote of your experience. An anecdote doesn't mean it's just a story. You experienced something and you know what happened. So you don't need anybody to tell you that, or you don't need to believe anybody who says that you're crazy. So I experienced those things, whether anybody else likes it or not. And so for me, it's not a belief. That was an experience for me. And so the little guys in my bedroom are perhaps in some ways less believable because it might have been a dream, except that it seemed to be a recurring dream over a few weeks. And the 20 years later, seeing a picture of what it was that I saw in my bedroom on the front cover of Whitley Strieber's book Communion was that was an ontologic shock for me, where I just dropped the book literally sitting in the used bookstore there. It was just here on California Avenue at an old used bookstore down there. And so, but for me to translate that to other scientists, or for me to prove to other people that it was beyond just an anecdote, requires everything that I'm doing with the Soul Foundation. So, I had what might be thought of as an out-of-body experience, where I woke up and felt like I was in the middle of a star field. I was like, where the hell am I? Kind of looked around. I just sort of felt like my perception was looking like, where am I? Oh my God, where's home? There was one star that was brighter than all the others, and then I just felt myself sucked down back into my body, and I woke up. And it was one of the most I still remember. I don't even remember where it was. Probably in my 30s or something. And so it's just, yeah, they could have been some kind of weird dream, but they stick with you, and then they reinforce the things that you know were real, which was the thing that was most real and can't be explained away as a dream state, was the event as I was a paperboy, where the object went right over my head. So it's like, it's there. It's not provable except in my memory, but my memory is me. And so I don't need to believe something. I know that happened. So everything else is perhaps a confirmation of that. But again, looping back to what I said at the Soul Conference, is how then do I create a story, meaning a scientific story, of the technology or events or structure of the universe or the structure of whatever it is that's going on, that encompasses all of these experiences, and the things and the experiences now of other people, because you can't just rely on your own experiences. So there's something very, very, very complex going on, relating back to the question about consciousness is, even physicists are freaking out because they are beginning to understand that the universe doesn't happen unless consciousness observes it. And that's a very uncomfortable place for a physicist to be, at least until recently. I think we've reached a stage of science where what is explainable is reasonably well understood, but we're now at the fringe of what we understand. And the only way to explain the fringe is to come up with new science that goes beyond the simple ways that we understand it today.